10 ways people try to look rich. Welcome to our channel, The Enchanted Luxury Studio, where we talk about wealth and luxury. Edmond Mbioka wasn't wrong when he said, "A lot of people spend so much time trying to look rich that they forget that the plan is to get rich." Social media has given people the power to post anything online, filling our feeds and timelines with show-off success and people's happiest version of themselves. However, there's a classic saying that goes, "Don't believe everything you see online." Unfortunately, our culture these days has gotten so engrossed with superficial success and wealth that some people are urged to constantly flex something good about their lives in order to feel like they belong in high society. In most cases, people with not much wealth fall into this trap of status games where they make themselves look rich even though they are living from paycheck to paycheck in real life. If you care to know this, there is a tremendous difference between real wealthy people and those just trying to look like one. And this video will help you distinguish which is which. Number 1. Buying expensive cars. Poor people often make the mistake of buying things that lose their value, like purchasing a luxurious car. In fact, most poor people would rather purchase a fancy Rolls Royce than a brand new house. Keep in mind that cars are among the worst investments a person could make, but unfortunately, many fall for this. What's so special about luxurious cars anyway? Its value decreases over time. Well, do it for validation, as they say. People who are trying to look rich show off flashy vehicles to gain praise from the public. Meanwhile, rich people drive simple and understated cars to go unrecognized. Building a house comes first for the riches. Apart from the fact that rich people mostly invest in things that provide more passive income and don't depreciate in value, owning a not-so-fancy vehicle would minimize the risk and danger they attract because of their wealth. It goes to show how rich people value their security more than attention. After all, they have a lot to lose. Number 2. Overdressing. One way to tell fake rich people from the real ones is by looking how they dress for a particular event. At most, people who are trying to look rich don't dress appropriately, while the rich people usually do the opposite. You might have seen a girl wearing high heels to a garden party or on a sailing trip. Most of the time, the poor's goal is to impress other people with what they wear because they cannot afford to show off in any other way. They usually go in the best dress and best pair of shoes they have because they don't have many options. As a result, they end up overdressing some events. Rich people don't do that because they have a variety of options available for them. They are able to dress accordingly. Number 3. Purchasing expensive bags. People who are trying to look rich often resort to impulsive buying. Despite the very expensive price tag, they purchase things that they don't really need or afford. Buying a designer bag, for instance, just to seek validation from people. In most cases, people flash their designer bags to make it look like they are doing better in life compared to other people. But what's the point of having an expensive handbag worth $1,000 when you don't have money to pay for utility bills? There's no sense in having a fancy bag as expensive as a house if you don't have money to put in it. Number 4. Having a lot of cash. Perhaps you didn't expect the cash to be an indicator of superficial wealth. And right now, you might be wondering, how can someone be poor trying to look rich by having a great deal of cash? Well, because actual rich people don't carry around cash in their pockets. They keep most of their money in the bank. Here's another way to look at it. There is a long period of waiting to finish the withdrawal of amounts as big as $10 million or more. It may even take months. If a person can immediately withdraw all the money they have from the bank, they only have a small balance in their account. Number 5. Taking entry-level brands as luxury brands. You might have seen your neighbor flaunting his Michael Kors, Pandora, and Tommy Hilfiger, but for the rich, they are not a big deal. Those brands were on the tip of the iceberg, mid-range products created for the middle and lower class. You might not have heard this, but there are various tiers of luxury brands. For instance, there's a Valentino where you can purchase bags for only $100. Then comes Valentino Garavani where bags are worth $3,000 each. The same goes with Versace. A lot of luxury brands leverage their name recognition to entice you to pay more for generic products. These generic products, though under a high-end brand name, break as easily as low-class products. People who are trying to look rich pay for the brand and not for the quality of the items. Go ahead and get your favorite beverage and popcorn. Subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications. Number 6. Bragging about money. Actual rich people avoid speaking about money unless it's a business deal. Suppose a person buys a luxury item and brags about the hefty amount they paid for it. Then that person is just trying to look rich. Wealthy people don't even think about the price of their purchase. Think about it, and no one mentions how much they spent on the piece of a chewing gum. I hope the point makes more sense now. Number 7. Bad plastic surgery and fake tans. It's best not to cut corners when getting a tattoo or plastic surgery because the result will tell. It's shocking to see that a lot of people these days walk around with obvious signs of bad plastic surgery. There are those who unwillingly flash their overly done lips, and sometimes it gets to a point where a person can no longer move their mouth properly because of the failed operation. The same goes with breast implants. The cheaper it is, the possibility of it looking good is low. Another status symbols that poor people like to play is having fake tans. Getting a real tan in the winter season would require you to fly to the other side of the planet where more favorable sunlight is in existence. That's something poor people can't afford easily. As a result, they just decide to spray paint their bodies walking around in what is borderline blackface. Number 8, they care more about the design than the quality. One thing that sets the rich apart from the poor is how they place a high value on quality over design. It is for this reason why they are often seen wearing non-stylish attire. However, you would be surprised how expensive their clothes are. It may not seem obvious, but true rich people are actually wearing really expensive brands, but they don't buy the flashy products marketed towards the poor and middle class. Instead, there's a quality-driven layer of products most of us don't see being advertised on billboards. Here's a general rule. Wearing the least comfortable clothing will make you feel worse, and a comfortable outfit is much more noticeable by people. Number 9. Fancy fence around an ordinary house. People who pretend to be rich tend to put exquisite features on the exterior of their houses to show off their supposed luxurious lifestyle. In reality, there's not much beyond the outside appearance. You know those people who put fancy decors on their fences and gates but are unable to heat up the house during the winter months? I bet you do. When you have a golden and well-furnished gate, you should be able to afford putting a pavement or at least a concrete ground beneath it. If not, then that says a lot about how wealthy you really are. Number 10. Renting or borrowing cars for a date. One way to lose a girl on a first date is by impressing her with a rented or borrowed car. Trying to look rich to entice a dating partner will never be a good idea. Sure, you may enjoy driving around on a Benz on your first date. But how about the following dates? Will you be able to keep renting a car around? That will cost you a lot of money. The fake it until you make it mantra does not apply to this. You might lose the idea of pretending. You need to start taking the first steps in order for things to get better. Take care not to sabotage yourself in the first round of the game. There goes the list of 10 ways poor people try to look rich. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. If you like this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Thanks for watching!